Hey everyone, Paul Gale here, and welcome to PGN Live. It is Friday, September 19th, 2025. Let's go. Here's to a good weekend, but before we can get to the weekend, we've got to talk some gaming, right? Because then, hopefully, you'll have a good idea of what to look forward to, a little bit of fun in the community, and then you yourself have a nice time playing Donkey Kong Bonanza. Maybe looking forward to Ghosts of Yote. Kirby, perhaps. I'm still working slowly on that. The DLC, I've been enjoying it, little by little. Silk Song, and more. But there are a couple of stories to go over. And of course, there's always the opportunity to talk more, random Q&A, stuff like that. So I'm going to wait for a bit for folks to hop in here, and then we're going to have a good time. Getting things ready. I could see some chatter. Let's see, who's already here? Robbie Reigns 1, hi there. The Cringe Prophet, hello PGN in chat. Brody, hey. Boo Mini, hey everyone. Bombitious time. Or Bombitious time, Robbie says. Lewis Lucas, Mario Gaming, hey. Egomaniac 87, ayo, hello, happy Friday all, let's go. Yvonne Francois, hi everyone. Hi Yvonne. I Byzantium, happy Friday. And PGN Live to all, that's right. You could see a couple of the topic points. Kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. Is it good? Is it bad? Well, one of them is good. One of them is just good. One of them isn't necessarily bad, because depending on who you are, it could be good. I don't know. Well, we'll talk about that. Let's see who else is in here. Steak 1024. Hey, Paul in chat. Hey, Steak 1024. How you doing? Nin 128. A hop, hip, a hip hop, a hip, pity hoppity. On in to the Paul Gale Super Show. I tried to read that. I was thinking, are you going for the hip, a hop, a hip to the hop to the hip, hop, hip? Like, that's what I thought it might be the direction, but I was like, let me read it just in case. But that's right. We're here. And there are 13 of you already watching. The likes are already going up. To the hop, to the hip, hop, hip. Like, I just listened to myself and how I sounded, and I was like, that's kind of funny. Yeah, elevate. That's right. Let's see. Waffle Boy, Awful Ploy. Hey, Paul, as a Sonic fan, I'm happy to see the score for Sonic Racing. I'm glad that the series has gotten consistently good games within the past few years. Yeah, we got to look at that score and see how it's doing today. And Roger Enyart starting the stream off right. Hello, happy people of the internet. That's right. It's Friday. And you know what? Any day is a happy day if we're all talking gaming, which could be every day of the week, right? So that would be the goal. To live stream a little bit every day. Because this community is cool. Thank you so much, Roger, for the $2 super chat. Already getting us on the board. I appreciate it. Roger with the 2. Oh, Nin128, you weren't here yesterday when Roger offered something comparable to what you're offering. So for everybody watching, Roger's thing is a little bit of a surprise for now. But for everybody watching, what Nin128 is generously doing for us is next week or so, or well, in like 2 weeks. Wait, hold on. 13 days? Yeah. In about 13 days. October 2nd. When Super Mario Galaxy 1 plus Super Mario Galaxy 2 comes out, Nin 128 is going to be providing us one, I think, I don't know how many, at least a copy of that bundle to be given out on stream. How do we give it out? We have yet to decide, but it's coming from Nin 128 to help boost up the stream, boost up the community, and maybe it'll be a, we hit that Nintendo 64 challenge, and that's when we do it. So instead of a $10 eShop gift card giveaway, it's the whole game that day. Maybe it'll be a certain member goal, or it'll be just for subscribers, just for members. I don't know yet. We'll talk more, but I wanted to remind you all of that. And in 128, and everybody who's here that wasn't here yesterday, Roger and Yart has something also Super Mario Galaxy related that's pretty cool. I will just say that it's not a copy of the game, but is something that he's going to be handing out to people potentially in the chat as also a part of some type of goal status, subscriber goal, member goal, something or other. So we've got a couple of cool things to look forward to. So thank you, Nin128, in advance for being so kind as to bring a game to the stream. And Roger, thank you for what you have already shown. I'll leave that as a little bit of a surprise for now, but I think people are going to like it. I mean, it's Super Mario Galaxy 2 related. So you can't go wrong with Super Mario Galaxy 2, And Waffle Boy, we're gonna talk about more Sonic Racing in a bit, because as you can see, we've got that season pass, and that's a pretty compelling lineup. Who else is here though? Mr. Nerd, hey Sonic fans. Pokemon Fan 34, hi there. I Byzantium saying wow. Can someone do a Kirby one? A Kirby what? J Biggs, Mr. NY for life. Hey Galeverse. Welcome, J Biggs. Roger giving free trips to the moon? Is he giving free trips to the moon? One of them is related to a trip to the moon. So in a way, you could say kind of, maybe. Yeah. You'll see. Andrew. Hey, Paul. Hey, Andrew. J Biggs. I got myself Chronos last night. I didn't play it yet. Hopefully, I get a chance over the weekend. Ooh, that's cool. That's exciting. Nin128. Is it the amiibo? No, but you're on the right path. You're on the right thought process. Nin128. So I'll say that. Yeah. CrossWorldsis is already getting DLC. They announced this at like Summer Game Fest. That they already showed off like Pac-Man at Summer Game Fest. That DLC was coming. And that Steve from Minecraft was coming. But now they are showing you how will the packs be released. I thought DLC this early in the game's life was supposed to be a scam, or is that just when Nintendo does it? Nintendo 10,000 noodles. Yeah, I get why people feel that, well, if the DLC is already being made alongside the game and it's being promoted before the game comes out, couldn't that have just been in it? No, it doesn't quite work that way. Air Riders, if you want to supply an Air Riders giveaway, Pokemon Fan 34, you can. That's not expected. That is a very generous offer, but that's nice, if that's what you're suggesting. Michael Gutmann, hey everyone. Hey Michael, I'm glad you're able to make it. Freddie Mercury, hello from Greece. Roger, downloaded the demo of Sonic Racing today. We'll give it a try after work. Dang it, I looked for the demo last night on the eShop and I couldn't find it. Unless if it just came out today. Did it come out today and that's why I couldn't find it yesterday? I thought it came out yesterday. And I could only see the pre-order. Well, I want to download it now. I want to play the demo over the weekend. I could go grab my Nintendo Switch 2 now and do that. We're still chatting. It's okay. I could wait. Let's see. Mario Master, hi. And Michael saying that would be cool. You know, that's another point. Michael Gutman also. The demo is for the Switch 1 version. That's why you would have trouble finding it like me. That's right, because you kind of have to partition things and where you download it from. I mean, I don't mind downloading it on my Nintendo Switch either. That's okay. But yeah, I was looking in like the Nintendo Switch 2 section, and I've got to look in the Nintendo Switch section. Yeah. Okay, that's right. Well, that's kind of good to know, knowing that if you like what you're playing, knowing that this is just the Nintendo Switch version that you're playing on your shiny new Nintendo Switch 2, and it's already giving you, pretty good fun. But not as crisp as Mario Kart World, but I like it. You know it's only going to be better when you get the proper Nintendo Switch 2 version. So this is kind of like a nice bare minimum expectation of what to expect in the proper NS2 version. If you decide the base game is fun and good enough, it's only going to get better. You know what I mean? So that's kind of cool. Would it be better perhaps to have the Nintendo Switch 2 demo for that version? Yeah, maybe, but even if not, a demo's a demo. And I actually wanted to get into demos. You know, back in the day, the only way to really play games were to either buy them or rent them. You spent $2. If you time your stuff out right, you could go Thursday morning at 10 a.m. to a store, rent a game for $2 or $2.21, I remember. And you would have to give it back by the next day at 7 p.m., like Friday at 7 p.m. So you kind of have the game for like 33 hours. It's like a day and a half. That's a pretty good amount of time. You're not going to play it that much, but if you wanted to, you could beat a lot of games in that time. You know what I mean? If you've got school, work, etc., whatever. But $2 to play a game over a span of 2 days. Now, if you're renting the game at 9 p.m. at night, and you still have to give it back the next day by 7 p.m., well, then you're doing yourself the disservice of you only have it for 22 hours, right, and not 33. So if you want to get like 2 afternoons, 2 nights with it, rent it in the morning. My whole point is, see, we were limited. Then discs came. And with discs, you had demos in magazines. It's something that I will give props to PlayStation for, is that, boy, they really had a nice Trojan horse in getting people to try out games, because you could print a disc for a couple pennies, throw it in a magazine. You could print a disc and team up with Pizza Hut and just give out a demo that had a dozen different titles on it to play and to experience with that person's pizza, and they would have fun. You couldn't do that with Sega Genesis cartridges, NES cartridges, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64 cartridges. You know what I mean? And I'm getting to a point with, why am I talking about back in the day? Why I'm talking about it is because nowadays we have so much free access at all times. If your game that you're really looking forward to isn't out yet, or it's still not out yet, or it's not out for 3 months, part of me is like, play the world's smallest violin. Not to be insensitive to the fact that, oh, you're really looking forward to this, but There's so much out there that is free. There are free demos that, you know what we would give to have free demo access to games in the 90s or early 2000s on a Nintendo machine when there weren't just spitting out discs everywhere in every magazine, or pre 1994, pre 1995, when it was just a cartridge world, how cool it would be to try out demos. Or you had to go to a Toys R Us or a Target with your mom or dad and stand there at the kiosk playing this Super Nintendo title or whatever, right? Now you've got so many options, free demos left and right, and so many games. There are entire full games that are free. Anyone complaining about not having their title out now, download Fortnite. Download Fortnite. It's free. Don't think up of anything that someone has said about it to derail you from the game, from trying it. Like, oh, this is what the community is all about. Oh, this is what I don't like about it. No. Go in with an open mind if you've never played it before. See that there are a lot of colors, a lot of gameplay options, different modes, different creative modes, different skins. There are even ways that you can get things for free without ever putting $1 in, because even if you just play, you'll unlock the game's currency, and then you could use the game's currency to buy real things that cost real dollars off of their shop without ever putting it in. Like, a game like that would be insane back in 1993. And it's available. It's there. You don't even need Nintendo Switch Online to play it. And there are a lot of titles that are not just free demos, but full-on free games. Play more. Play more that's out there. Don't be obsessed with just the one, because that's not a healthy way to live, And I see it online. The drought. You've got no idea what a drought is, because back in the day we had real droughts. There were real gaps. We get more games now coming out than ever before, every day, every week, and sales constantly. There weren't sales like this back in the day, constantly going out. We've got it good, And there are so many games that nobody guaranteed owns all of them and has played through all of them. You're missing something in your collection. Even if you are a pretty strong connoisseur of gaming, chances are you're still missing something that's a really good one, And I see it online. I see it on X. And it's like, gosh, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'll give a real life example in a moment. But let's get back to the chat. I got a little bit, not lost in track, but not on the topics I want to talk about today. Just seeing certain things out there. One friend in particular is in my mind. Let's see. Will I stay for the whole podcast tonight? No. From whenever time they start, or we start, I will be there until 6:30. At 6:30. Sometimes my intention is 6:30, but I get caught up in a conversation, and without wanting to disrespect the other person talking, I don't just peace out midway through the conversation of theirs. I let them speak their piece, and then I chime in and speak, and then it gets to being 7:52 or 6:52, and I really had to leave at 6:30, but I let it get to 6:52, and then it's 7:01. Oh, now it's this time. I guess I could say to 7:17, and then it's 7:30, and then it's like I needed to leave at 6:30. I really had to. So today, it'll be known, 6:30, whether it's midway in my conversation or in someone else's. It won't be any disrespect to anybody. Um, it'll just be known like 6:30 p.m. I have to go. If I don't get to, announce my channel or properly say bye, that's okay. But I'll be ending the stream at 6:30 or ending my presence on it. You know what I mean? Roger downloaded it from the Nintendo Switch store. Good, good. You think you have hated it, but this one you kind of like. That's good. Richie Jard, hi there. How you doing today? I'm doing well, thank you. Don't forget borrowing games from friends. But yeah, rentals were the best. Yeah, in 128. Yeah, video game rentals, and yeah, borrowing from friends. That's true. We're at 20 likes. Thank you, Pokemon Fan 34. That's good to know. Mark. Boom Mini. Oh, what was happening? Will you continue to collect amiibo? If so, which ones are you interested in? Yes, I will. I'm not going to buy every amiibo out there just because as the price has gone up in the amiibo, even though the quality has gone up to match the price, probably, in most cases, so far, at the end of the day, it still is a cost increase that then makes you say, do I need this one or do I just want this one? At least 2 of the 3 Metroid ones, because Silex I don't have in any capacity, so that will be a new one. Samus and Viola, definitely, as that's really cool and unlike any that I have. Samus with her arm cannon shooting off to the side, I love that pose, but I do have a few various suit Samus Aran amiibo already, so that one might be the maybe not, but I like it a lot, so maybe. The 2 Super Mario Galaxy ones, despite being quite high in price at the 40 mark, I believe that they have kind of entered the mini statue collectible look. At that cost, 40 is not cheap. That's 2/3 of a $60 game. But it is very detailed. It is big. I'm assuming it's heavy. Looks nice. I'm not buying it for the functionality. I have Mario, I have Rosalina. Those will work in the game to give me an extra 1-up mushroom and a mega mushroom. But they look really nice, and I'll get those. I wouldn't mind getting one Kirby one for the sake of having it, but without getting more than one, it's not necessarily something from a gameplay functionality standpoint worthy of getting. Like, you almost want to get 2 or get 3 or 4 or 5 to do the mix and match, to have kind of more fun with it. Just getting one, you're not experiencing that, so you really have to be okay with just what it is, because this has extra functionality. But if you're not taking advantage of the functionality, you're paying $50, which is an extra premium on top of the $40 ones, like for a really nice looking Mario and Rosalina, or Mario and Luma, or Rosalina and 2 Lumas, $10 more. Yeah, you're getting 2 things with it. But is that little rider thing and is that little Kirby thing, are they each independently worth $25? Because that's what you're paying for. Maybe not necessarily. Good question, Boomini. Yeah. I never collected every amiibo, but like I collected every amiibo in the Super Smash Bros. Line. That was a thing that I wanted to do. And then I got some Mario ones. I think all Zelda ones except for Tears of the Kingdom line. Yeah. When that Mineru one comes out, it will probably be quite significantly different, bigger, more grand. I have a feeling that that one might be worth a 50. I'll have to see it, but if it's something like this guy right here, the Guardian, yeah, it might be worth it. That's me with Pokemon Coliseum and Gale of Darkness. I'm salty that they didn't do a GameCube NSO update this month, but GBA and N64 one, they'll come in time. Tater Salad, yay, hello all, hey there. Smash made me interested in a lot of series and eventually gaming in general when I was younger. That's awesome, cool. Are you trying to call me out? No. Oh, what I was saying, so I said I have a I have a friend. I won't get into specifics of who this person is, but this individual only looks forward to football every year. NFL. That's it. He's got his team. When the team is winning, he's extra happy. But whether the team is winning or losing, he just gets really excited around football season finally starting. That's his go-to source of entertainment and fun for those 18 or so weeks. The rest of the year, he looks almost miserable. New video game coming out, and he kind of likes games. There's nothing to make him excited. There's nothing to make him like, wow. New movie comes out, he likes certain IP, but nothing to make him wow. You looking forward to the new King Kong Godzilla fan? Got King Kong Godzilla movie? No. The new Street Fighter, the new Mortal Kombat game? No. New Zelda, new Mario? No. There's a new Street Fighter comic book coming out by Udon? No. You check out that new Ninja Turtles series? No. You know, Power Rangers, rumor has it that they're going to make a new Netflix thing. No. Have you seen Peacemaker? It's good. No. Have you heard the new Taylor Swift song? It's pretty catchy. No. Sabrina Carpenter's got a song, Espresso. It's got Nintendo in it. It's a pretty fun lyric. You hear it? No. New mall opened up. Have you tried the new mall and like seen how pretty like the architecture is? No. You want a garden? Feel the positive vibes and the fruits of your labor when your fruits come to and eat it and have fun? No. Want to work out? Exercise? Do some martial arts? Improve yourself? Have fun? Learn something new? No. Learn an instrument? Learn a foreign language? No. Football comes around, those 20 weeks, that's when it's pumped. That's it. There's so much more to life than the one thing you're hyper fixated on, that if that's all you rely on, then the majority of the time you're not happy. Find the little bits of pleasure in everything to constantly have something holding you up. The more pillars you have, the stronger you are. So when this one breaks, you're not reliant on one to hold you up. You've got 10, you've got 20. So I take that approach and I put it into gaming that I see online. So that's a in real life IRL person. I'm not gonna say who, Jay Biggs. I'm gonna say who. But I know someone like this. I'm like, gosh almighty. But that's an IRL person, but I see people like that online on X and social media platforms about a certain game or a certain franchise or a certain IP that Nintendo hasn't made this in years. And it's like, oh my gosh, but they make Zelda and Donkey Kong and Metroid and this and this and this and this. This is like, don't get so depressed about like the world is over because it doesn't have Star Fox. Dude, I love Star Fox too. But find the way to love a lot. And yeah, you might be a little disappointed that you don't have your favorite one in Star Fox. But you could learn to appreciate all. So that's sort of, anyways, kind of what I was getting at. I was like, I see online too much stock in how happy one thing makes someone and not the fact that there's a whole slew of variety and free stuff, for crying out loud, to have fun in, you know? Do you know how many times I played the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 demo listening to Superman by Goldfinger back in the day when I had that opportunity to play it on that disc? A lot. Probably a lot that for some people it's the amount of hours they put into a whole game. Society is a little bit spoiled. It's a little bit entitled, I think. It's a very fast food, fast internet, fast dating, fast adoration, fast response kind of world we live in. And sometimes it's like, sit back, slow down, stop and smell the roses for a bit, diversify. Not that you come to this stream for non-video game advice. This is just a little bit of life advice for what it's worth. Kind of put into maybe how people approach video games. Not that this is this community, but just something to keep in mind of to maybe not make mistakes. Or maybe to give someone else better advice. You know? Let's get back to the chat though. J-Big says, yes, indeed, there are way too many games to play. I have Switch games from 2018 to 19 that I just started playing this year on your Switch too. Mario Master, there will be a GameCube NSO update at the end of this month or early next month. True. Can't stop watching your GTA 5 short. It's awesome. Thank you, Richie Jard. It's like my favorite. Do you think Rockstar will bring GTA 5 to the Switch too? I think they will. I think they're going to do, I think. Part of it is what I hope, right? So they don't always line up. But I think it's at least somewhat likely, it's at least possible that Rockstar will do Red Dead Redemption 2 and Grand Theft Auto 5 on Nintendo Switch 2 before Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out. Now, I would like to see Grand Theft Auto 6 come out day and date for Nintendo Switch 2. But if the development cycle was too big and they got dev kits too late, I could see why it would come to Nintendo Switch 2, 6 months later, 1 year later. Hopefully that's not the case. But if it comes at all, that would be cool. But I could see 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2 come. I'd really like to have 4, 5, and Red Dead 2 because get GTA 4. That's another good one. That's one that it ran back in the day fine on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. It could be okay on Nintendo Switch too, guaranteed, Hello everybody, Billy from the Game Chasers passed away. Billy from Game Chasers. I don't know who that is, but that is sad. Brain cancer yesterday. He was 44. Jeez. I'm not familiar with who that is, but that is sad. I'm sorry to hear that. 44, that's 2 years older than me. Yeah, dang. That's too young to have something uncontrollable like that get you. Yeah, Mario Master, it's sad to hear that. Richie Jard saying he was a great guy. See, I don't know who that is, but still, regardless, that's tough. You're an Eagles fan going to the game, Pokemon fan. That's cool. Hope you have fun at the game. That's going to be exciting. That's got to be exciting. Hopefully, you have a good time, win or lose. But for your sake, hopefully they win because there's nothing better than that. JM Powers. Oh, no, I read that. Tater salad. If they are going to raise the price of Amiibo, they need to increase the functionality of them. Being twice as big, twice as heavy, twice as detailed, and costing twice as much makes sense. Not what we want necessarily is to pay more, but you know, if your amiibo in 2025 is $30 and the sword on that amiibo is not bending like the old Marth and Link ones did back in the day, the new face model on this character is a lot more detailed with more hair, fine things. The base isn't just flat, it's got geometry and rocks and little bushes and stuff. It weighs more, looks better, is better, boom, but doesn't have any extra functionality. I guess you could say at bare minimum, it makes sense why it's 30 instead of 13. Also, taking into account inflation and all that stuff. Okay. When you get into like 40 territory, 50 territory, it would be quite nice if, if it's not 3.5 times better looking, heavier, bigger, all that it does also have some extra functionality. Yeah. Fingers crossed we get to see Peach today. Maybe, Richie Jard. As for Mario, he's sleeping right here. He's a big, fluffy, sleepy boy right now. Maybe your friend would be really happy if Nintendo or EA made a Vivo for Madden Tater Salad. Oh, that's pretty good. Hey, that's pretty good. Oh man, maybe your friend would be really happy if Nintendo or EA made a Amiibo for Madden. Here's something to do with your time. Oh my gosh. The other 30 weeks a year, there's one of 16 NFL teams here, one of 16 NFL teams here. They're releasing a different quarterback per week, every week of the year. So yeah, let's just say in 32 weeks they released 32 quarterbacks. They stop during football season, and then they continue with the next 32 weeks of every wide receiver, of every backup quarterback, of every lead coach, of every helmet of the team. Geez, that's funny. Oh, that might make him happy. Oh my gosh. Mario Master, Super Mario Universe is a good title for the next 3D Mario game. Yeah. Thanks. Roger, what? You don't have the Tears of the Kingdom amiibo? They're so glorious. I know. The good thing is, I didn't feel like I had to have them at launch. And now they're like 15, 20 at GameStop instead of 30. So if I hop into GameStop and I see them for 15, I'm like, I'll buy all four. Because that's like, what, $2 more than what they cost back in the day, and they look better than those? Cool. Okay. If they're 20, that's still only $7 more than my, old school amiibo from, 2014. Yeah. Waffle Boy, you're completely right about that. Yeah. I'm here for the full PGN experience. Nice. Do you think GTA 6 will come out day and date? I hope so, but if I had to bet safely, I'd say no, because the game's been in development for so long that I don't think Rockstar... I know Rockstar didn't have Nintendo Switch 2 dev kits that entire time because Nintendo themselves didn't even have the dev kits till all that time. You know what I mean? Rockstar has been working on this game for a long time. So if it comes out, maybe there's a little bit of a chance that Nintendo's own porting studio could work with Rockstar and they can make it happen that it's a launch title, day and date. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Even 6 months later. Like if it's a November next year title, that'd be sweet. 1 year later would still be impactful, but come on, day and date. I hope GTA 4, Liberty City, Vice City Stories, or Vice Stories come to Switch 1. That'd be neat. I saw RGT 85 and 8-bit Eric talk about Billy's death. I saw an RGT thumbnail of "This is sad" or something. "This is not good." and I saw a picture of somebody, and I think when J Biggs said Billy, I'm like, oh, I think I saw that name in a tagline somewhere. So that makes sense. Well, especially if they knew him or talked to him, whether it's online or in person, like that makes it even tougher to lose, you know. But even if you don't know someone, just basic human compassion that you have for others when someone has untimely passing is something that stinks, you know. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, David Patterson. Sorry I'm late. That's okay. Was gaming with your son for a little bit. That's awesome. That's awesome. The Game Chasers was one of the first gaming YouTube channels I found. They were on YouTube back when people started posting gaming content. That's how far they go back. That's cool, GM Powers. So that's pretty old school. King Paco Nintendo Lover. How are you guys? Doing well? Small little man. Hi, I just got here. I've been too busy playing Dark Souls 3. What's this about Xbox prices going up? We gotta go over that. We didn't even get to that part yet. Did work for GTA 6 start before or after Red Dead Redemption 2? I think GTA 6 has had work on it probably for a good 8 years. Probably been in development 2017, maybe sooner. Yeah, it'd be really interesting to hear them share. This is when we started. This is when we went gold. This is how many people worked on it. This is how much money we spent. $1.8 billion. More than any movie ever. More than any game ever. This many hundreds of people. This many collaborations with this many voice actors and sound studios. It's going to be a beast. When do you think the next 3D Sonic game could come? Sega's pretty on top of it. A part of me wouldn't be surprised if, like this summer they have one that's like, surprise, it's coming this November. That would be like the earliest, But by like holiday 2026, I'd say we could probably more safely say we could get a new 3D Sonic by then. Small little man. Okay, I read that. I'm sure GTA 6 started on PS3. Jeez. Could it? If they didn't milk the online in GTA 5, 6 could have come way sooner. Perhaps true. They really went with online for a long time. Okay. Let's get to our topic. I mean, one topic I've had on screen for a while, and that is the season pass. Look at this. This is pretty good of what Sega is doing with Sonic. You pay $7 for a pass, you have a pretty complete game. So I think. I haven't played it yet myself, right? But you got Minecraft. That's a big IP. Steve, Zombie, Alex, okay. SpongeBob and Patrick. That's 2 characters. It's not just one, it's 2. And this one is 3. Aang and Korra, right? His granddaughter, right? Yeah. Mega Man and Proto Man, Pac-Man and Blinky, and then all 4 turtles, Raphael, Michelangelo, Leonardo, Donatello. That's a pretty cool pack to release periodically. New character or 2 and a cart. I like that. Joycey J, hi there. Working and lurking. You can't go wrong with that. The other thing I wanted to get to today, that was kind of fast. It's kind of fast also because I had it on screen for so long, but dun, 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 dun. This is what I said is good news or bad news depending on who you are. Well, first of all, before I get into that, Anybody interested in that Sonic stuff? Small little man. $7 is a very fair price. Haven't played the game, but I'm wondering if the characters all have different stats. See, I haven't played it myself either. King Paco, how are you guys? I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Joyce, you doing all right? Roger, welcome in the chat. Good, good. Thank you all for being here too. This might be a little bit of a shorter stream. Maybe, maybe not. We're probably going to go for at least our normal time. We have at least 19 minutes, you know. But this is the thing, you know, IGN put up. It's elsewhere too, but this happens to be their X page, so shout out to IGN. Hey, by the way, we always seem to do this, so thanks. We've got more likes than people watching. I like that. Now, would it be necessarily this way if there were like 112 people watching? Would we have 130 likes? I don't know. But I think every stream has been quite consistent where if we have 30 people watching, we've got like 35 likes. If we have 42 people watching, we're actually at like 47 likes. Very seldomly, if not ever, are we at a place where there's 20 people watching and we only have 12 likes. You know what I mean? So thank you everybody for watching, for liking, and that just means that even the folks that dipped out liked it while they were here. So pretty cool. So thank you. But let's go over these Xbox prices. Microsoft, back in May, increased the prices on all their systems. That Xbox Series S, the one that was only $300. Why would you buy an old Nintendo Switch when you could buy the Xbox Series S, a brand new system that's a lot more powerful for the same price, that came out 3.5 years later, that's totally gonna have all of these upcoming games for it? Okay, that $300 system, you made your point. Now it's $400. The system is about to turn 5, and it's not $300 anymore. It's $400. Oh. In May, it jumped to $380. You can't say Xbox Series S was the cheapest option anymore because it's the same price but newer than Nintendo Switch. Then again, you couldn't even say that completely accurately because the Nintendo Switch Lite was only $200, correct? But TV-wise, you can make an argument in a way that Xbox Series S was the cheapest TV console, right? Because it's newer and costs the same. But not entirely so, because you've got Nintendo Switch Lite, and that is a viable platform of that generation, of the 9th generation. $400 though, that's another $20 jump, and that's starting soon. That 1TB version, some people like their systems digitally, but they need more storage space without having to buy an external right away. $430 jumping up to $500. $70 jump. $20 jump for the top one. $70 jump for the bottom one. You're paying an extra $70 for another 512 gigs of RAM. I guess cheaper than buying the alternative, but yeah. Xbox Series X, how about this guy? It started off at $500 when it came out in November of 2020. It went from $500 to $600 this May. So 4.5 years in, $100. Now it's at $650. The Xbox Series X, no offense to it, but the worst selling system of this generation is now $650 nearly 5 years in. This November it turns 5, and it's now $150 more than it was. So any of the shade that Nintendo was getting the other day of, I can't believe that Nintendo Switch went from 300 to 350, the Lite from 200 to 230, the OLED from 350 to 400. It happened to Microsoft before then it happened to Sony. It's happening to Microsoft a second time, and I wouldn't be entirely surprised if it's going to happen to Sony again as well. Now, Xbox Series X did have a digital version, not right away, but it did at $550. That one's now $600. So if you want the more powerful Xbox of the generation, which is the Series X, not the Series S, your entry point is now $600 before you play any games, before you buy Game Pass. Yeah, that's a lot. And then you've got, okay, if you want the Xbox Series X limited edition that has 2 terabytes, that's $730, is now $800. That's a $70 increase as well. But these aren't cheap, folks. Makes you really wonder, how much is the next Xbox going to cost at launch? How much is the next PlayStation 5 going to cost at launch? Sorry, PlayStation 6 at launch. Then you have Nintendo holding the reins. They're holding on. And this is why I said it's good news and bad news. Bad news for Xbox. If Sony has to follow suit, bad news for Sony. If Nintendo doesn't increase their prices for the Nintendo Switch 2, or a second increase for Nintendo Switch, this is good news for Nintendo. Because now you could say, hey, if you want to experience games from the 9th generation, you have an entry point of $230. That's a lot cheaper than $400 for this digital-only Xbox. Or $230 is a lot cheaper than the $600 physical one. Okay, you got to even it out a little bit. So let's go with the TV model. $350 for a 9th gen system in Nintendo Switch. $600 for a 9th gen system in Xbox Series X. $250 more. That's a quite considerable amount more. You know what I mean? That's a lot of games that you could potentially buy. And the PlayStation 5 prices, they're kind of in between these, as we've done before on stream, where we've evaluated them and talked about them before. And if they go up, it's going to be the same thing. It's a Nintendo Switch 2 if you want a new next-gen console that's, 3.5 years younger than these two. Got that backwards compatibility. Is physical. Has digital as an option. Will potentially have a longer life from here on out, because it's fair to say that these systems' successors will be coming out within the next couple of years. However, it's also likely that the third parties and first parties will continue to support these systems as their successors come up, right? But Nintendo has only been getting bigger, better, more strong, more powerful, and they will be supporting, if they do it like they did Nintendo Switch, you got a good 8 years at least out of this Nintendo Switch 2. And more third-party support than Nintendo Switch had, and seemingly a comparable amount of first-party support. Dang, Nintendo looks attractive. Nintendo's in a really good position. It only gets better for them if Sony has to increase their prices one more time, like Microsoft. And then it only gets kind of better for them when the next Xbox and next PlayStation 6 come out. If Nintendo didn't have to increase the price, it's like, where do you want to play on the 10th gen? Yeah, Nintendo Switch 2 at $450 or $500 with a game, or $800 for an entry point level PS5 in which you have to buy the disc option on the side for an extra $100. Or, the $700 portable not portable, the $700 digital only next Xbox, or the 800 physical one. Maybe that comes with the disc. Ooh, and that's how they get the edge over Sony. But that won't be enough to matter. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Because even if those systems, let's say they come out November 2027, that gap between when Nintendo kicked off 10th gen and then, it's not that much. It's 2.5 years. That's closer than Nintendo Switch was to either PS4 or Xbox One, or Nintendo Switch to Xbox Series or PS5. No, I'm at the dental office. Any back of the day shorts today? Not checked. Yes. Today's short was Mortal Kombat 1, which was just 2 years ago, because I picked for today's short the MK1 release that came out 2 years ago on Nintendo Switch, Windows, PS5, Xbox Series. And I did a Pokemon one today as well. The prices went up a few months ago. That's madness. All of a sudden, Switch 2 prices look good. Yeah, small little man. You got a second-hand Xbox Series X for $250 3 years ago. That's a good price. Yeah. $350. A good deal. Especially if it's working fine, all that stuff. Good deal. Is the extra 500 gigabytes on the Series S really worth another $100? How much do the external hard drives cost? So you have to buy these SSDs, and they cost a lot, but I think you could buy some SSDs for cheaper. It's just the convenience factor of it's not as nice looking than having it all in the one system, or like a nice clip-on. That's cool, but like in the guts, kind of better. Yeah. Dang. Even though traded in your carbon black Series S for Switch 2, I was planning on getting a Series X down the line if the ports I want didn't come to Switch 2. Not anymore with the price hike, yeah. To give some credit to Xbox, they did go back on their $80 games after the backlash. Yeah, good thing probably on Microsoft doing that. Probably a nice move. Good move. Waffle Boy, Awful Ploy. I wish I was interested in the Series consoles, but Microsoft haven't really done much with it outside of Game Pass and a few titles. Yeah, that's kind of the problem. They own so many IP. They really have a lot, but they haven't done a great job establishing these franchises as only on Xbox. Now they could, but now they can't because of law agreements, like pertaining at least to the Activision stuff. Yeah. Every game company is bringing up the prices. It's not only Nintendo. Yep. Will they go up again? Maybe. Hopefully Switch 2 stays the same. Hopefully. Tater Salad, welcome back. PlayStation 6, $1,000. Oof, that'd be a pricey one. Gotta love a surprise visit from the boss. LOL. Depends on what Xbox and PlayStation price for next gen. Richie Jard. I've heard rumors that the PS6 is going to be a hybrid like the Switch 2. Is there any truth to it? Do you know? I don't know. It's possible. It's possible that Sony could dive in and change their corporate philosophy, and instead of having the most graphically impressive, powerful showcase next gen teraflop, gigs of RAM, visual RAM, core memory, GPU, CPU, everything, boom, HDR to the max, everything running 8K. Let's push that. Let's push 120. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go more powerful than PS5. A beefy, strong system, pretty damn impressive, but let's make it portable. So not as impressive as they could. I don't know if they'll go that route. It'd be a very interesting machine to see, though. Yeah. My one friend wanted a PlayStation 5. Was like $1,000 on eBay. I don't know why you'd spend $1,000 on eBay when you could spend $500, or well, not $500 anymore, $500-600 bucks. Unless you mean like at launch. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people are just going to switch to PC or handheld. Well, not a lot of gamers are set up to be PC gamers, meaning they've got families, they've got couches, they've got living rooms. They take the family out shopping to the mall. They walk around the brick and mortar. They're used to shopping online for Amazon. They'll get digital. They're not dumb or ignorant on how to shop digital, but they also don't imagine this tower plugged in and going to the TV and all this kind of stuff. A crowd may say, you know what? I'm going to spend $2,000 and I'm going to build myself something, or I'm going to go to Best Buy and just see, hey, what can $2,000 get me? But a lot of people would rather put their money into a smartphone that does everything than a PC just for gaming. Whereas a gaming console, it does quite good enough of the jump from what they had 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. And that's the attractive thing of a gaming system in your living room. You know what I mean? So I don't think everyone's gonna go to PC. I think there'll always be a market for home consoles, but I think like Nintendo, they did just the right thing with the hybrid system. The stream is gonna end in 4 minutes, by the way, so I'm gonna try to get to the comments, and we'll see. We'll see how these next 4 minutes go. They're good conversations, by the way. This is great. Lots of good talks from you all. I really think Nintendo's going to win the console war. Yeah, Mario Master. Nintendo slowly but surely continued to up their game in terms of visual fidelity. Back in the day, they made the jump significant from Nintendo Entertainment System to Super Nintendo Entertainment System to Nintendo 64 to Nintendo GameCube. But their sales kept going down little by little by little by little. In fact, if you didn't have Wii, this is how Nintendo home consoles went. Boom, 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 boom. You take out Wii, you put in Wii U, it follows an exact path almost. Wii went boom. It was the right call. Portable system wise, however, Nintendo has always been higher more often than not. But it did go dunk, 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 dunk. Nintendo Switch, best call. Wii was this paradigm shift needed. Wii U didn't quite capitalize on that success, didn't do what they wanted it to do, what it should have. Too late in the game for this. Not necessary for that. Not the best marketing on that end. Back and forth, etc. You could make some different points and arguments. It's okay, it's okay. They totally redeemed more than necessary for what they pulled off with Nintendo Switch, and I'm very happy for them. And Nintendo Switch 2, totally the right direction in where they went. Nintendo Switch 2, I love it. Corny Puddle, how are you doing? Thank you all for being here. Let's see if the earlier thing held true. Did it? Remember I was saying these streams always have more likes than viewers? Is that still holding true even at the end? Almost. That's neck and neck. That's neck and neck. I can't complain. I can't complain. There are 31 people in here, and 30 likes. That's about equal. That's really cool. Thank you all. That's the Nintendo 64 minute mark. But I will finish because I never want to leave anybody's comments not read. In the kitchen, and Kika, hey there. Which game am I most looking forward to? Oh yeah, let's do that. Okay, that's good. Let's go. Let's Metacritic. Metacritic. Yeah, let's go Metacritic. Yeah. Let's see. We want to see Sonic. Sonic Racing CrossWorldsis, right? Ah, not too bad. Not too bad at all. An 83. Solid. It's pretty solid. Good amount of reviews. I gotta download this demo. Roger, I gotta go download this demo. That's not why I'm leaving, but I do gotta download this demo because you triggered my mind. You reminded me when I saw your name. Mario Master. Oh wait, did I read the other one? Oh, Kika. Oh, I'll get to Kika's comment in a moment because that's a question. Small little man. Yes, we got that. Oh, the IGN specific score. No, let's do that too. For Sonic, an 83 is high. Meeting up with everyone on chat would be wild. I'd be down for that. Robot Paul? Uh-oh. Do I sound off? Is the voice off? Nine. Nice, IGN. Okay, Kika was that question that I wanted to get to. You asked, what game am I most looking forward to? Yeah. Which game are you most looking forward to? Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. The game has been in development for so long. I mean, it started off right at the first E3 of the Nintendo Switch when it was only 3 months old. I was there. I was hyped. I was there a year and a half later when they announced the reboot. I was disappointed, but understanding. I dealt with a 5.5 year wait until we finally saw it. I have my Nintendo Switch 2. I love the system. I think the game looks awesome, and I'm really looking forward to it. IGN is the same people that gave Mario Luigi Brothers Super 5. See, the thing with IGN, though, there's so many different reviewers at IGN, so it's kind of tough to say this person gave this game an 8, this person gave this one an 8, but this person might have given this one a 7, and this person might have given this one a 10. You don't know. But overall, you see from IGN. But there are lots of different reviewers. Mr. Roboto again? Oh, man. Still. Tater Salad. What is your favorite game genre? Oof. Either like action adventure or like adventure platformer. Zelda kind of, or Mario kind of, 3D. I love fighting games though too. More traditional action games, RPGs, kart racing games, 2D platformers, Metroidvanias. I like a lot. I like quite a bit. But like action adventure, and action platformer probably. Yes, your sound's really off. Oh, okay. Well, that's also not a bad time, I guess, to end this stream since we're having some audio difficulties. I don't know if that's any better. A little off topic, but I believe the year of Zelda will be 2027. New big game, new live action movie, possible Zelda theme park. Thoughts? 2027, it is going to be a big year. Any time between February 2026 and August 2027 will be Zelda's 40th anniversary. So I think we're going to get new game or remake game. And I think we're going to get, well, we are going to get movie. Yeah, okay, I'm glad the audio's fixed. Balatro. Have I played Balatro? I think I've played Balatro. That's good if I'm not mistaken, if I remember right. The Zelda theme park would be cool. Cool. Well, thank you everybody for being here. I'm glad that we hit our Nintendo 64-minute goal for the stream and got to go a little bit longer and have some more fun. Hope you all have a good rest of your day. For some of you, I might see you a second time at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 7:30 Central, 8:30 p.m. Eastern for the Nintopics podcast. I'll be on until 6:30 p.m. I'll be on from whenever we start till 6:30, and then I will kindly exit regardless of if I'm in halfway of a speech or someone else is talking. It will be no disrespect to anybody, but it'll just be when I have to go. Paul, you will be back on later tonight as normal, correct? Yep, with Mike, N64, Josh, and Joycey J. Correct. Yes. Bye, everyone. That was a lot of fun. That was a fast hour. Is that on Nintendo Prime? No, that one's right here. Well, I mean, you could go on, I think N64 Josh streams it on his channel, Mike Odyssey on his channel, me on my channel that you're here. But yeah. Cool. Hey, now we hit 72 minutes. That's Nintendo 64 bits plus NES 8 bits. Let's go. Thank you one more time, Roger Enyart, for the $2 super chat today, getting us on the board. We didn't hit Nintendo $64, but that's okay. We had a fun talk. And I hope you all had a good time too, talking amongst each other. Boom. We had a lot back and forth, and this community continues to be awesome. See you all later.